Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk About It. My name is Sage Breed. Y'all, I'm excited. This is the first official week that we have gone through a Lifeline together. I'm pumped. To be honest, y'all, okay, I'm more than pumped. Seriously, I'm ecstatic. This has been the culmination and the actualization of vision. Okay, hey, if you've been tuning in with us for quite some time before the hiatus, you're aware that Talk About It has been one of my most inconsistent points as far as this goes. And I had to take a step back. Really, while we took that break, I sat down and said, man, why am I lacking discipline? Why am I not doing this? And I realized, oh, well, discipline is vision applied. So if I'm not being disciplined, it's because there's no vision. Okay, I need to sit down. I got to write the vision down. So while I was meeting with our team, Hunter, right? And we were talking and we were just discussing, like, okay, well, this is what this month is going to look like. This is how we're going to go about these weeks. This is what the topics are going to be. Oh, I know what Talk About It is going to be about. Talk About It is going to be a recap of everything that we discussed. It's going to be streamlined. Okay, so all the episodes, right, they're all standalones. You don't necessarily need to know what happened the day before or what's going to happen the day after. Each one is its own, like, bite-sized morsel. However, when you hit them all through the week, man, you get the full picture. So, man, I'm excited. It's just such a blessing, seriously. So when we talk about these, everything goes through our 5 pillars. We have spiritual, mental, physical, social, financial. So this first week, we've been getting that spiritual. Okay, so for many of you know, I'm a Christian. And it's a focal point of my life. Everything I do is derived from this identity as a child of God. You don't have to be a Christian to get this content. You don't have to be a Christian to get this wisdom. However, man, it's that next level sweet spot. So regardless, we talked about spiritual, because when your spiritual's right, your mental's right. When your spiritual and mental's right, your physical's right. When your spiritual, mental, physical is right, your social is right. When your spiritual, mental, physical, social is right, your financial is right. So there's an order to things. And so as we talked about these different pillars, well, where do pillars go? They go on the foundation. So since this is our first week, we were like, okay, it would only make sense that we talk about the foundation. So we had growth track, vision board, back to the book, lifeline, talk about it. So I'm going to walk us through, and we're going to take the key points from each one. It's not just going to be old information. There's going to be some new stuff here too. So when we were taking a look at growth track, we talked about understanding the foundation, because if we don't understand what a thing is, we're going to abnormally use it. Use it. We're going to abuse it. We're not going to use it for its intended use. So we discussed what a foundation is. A foundation is simply the thing that you build on. Why do we even need a foundation? Because depending on how high you want to go, that is how deep you're going to have to dig. You're going to have to remove all that dirt. You're going to have to pour in the concrete, the rebar. Why? Because the dirt shifts. And unfortunately, we know this. When houses or buildings have a faulty foundation and the dirt shifts, man, you get cracks in the wall. Sometimes the house collapses. Man, it's just not a good thing. So this is why we spend so much time on the foundation piece. This is why the foundation is the most crucial part. Because, man, if your foundation is off kilter, you can't build right. If it's not deep enough and the pillars don't go down deep enough, man, life hits, it's going to topple over. So we discussed dirt, right? And dirt stands for decide. Decide what you're going to do. Integrate. How are you going to integrate the principles you've learned? How are you going to be integral in the way you move? We talked about resolving, saying, okay, I'm really going to do this. We have to burn the bridge of fear. We're going to have to burn the ships. We can't go back. The only way back is forward. Finally, we're going to have to transform. We will encompass into our new identity, because everything we do flows out and from who we are. So if we don't know who we are, we're not going to really get very far. Or whenever we're speaking with people, whenever we're interacting with the world around us, whether it's business, music, money, whatever, you can always tell when something's a little off, right? You ever heard, I'm gonna do this for this person because I never had it? Man, well, it's like I'm doing this for you to fill a hole in my heart. And you can literally feel what that feels like when someone's trying to get something from you. So we got to get that out. We have to build on the firm foundation, which in this case, in this scenario, is Christ. Next, on Tuesday, the brand new vision board. Ooh, I'm excited. I love it. I love it. Vision board is a place where we just learn. Man, we learn how to cast vision. Oh my God. Okay, we talked about the blueprint, because you can't start building unless you know what you're building. Otherwise, how do you know what you need? How do you know what your budget is, the resources, the size of the team? You won't know unless you sit down and say, okay, what kind of structure am I trying to design? What kind of life do I want? Now, granted, we don't have to be so uptight on it, right? Like, that's not necessary. Sometimes things change. And because, praise God, because you are literally a genius, you're so smart, you have a high IQ, you're able to adapt. Because if it's like, it has to go according to this plan, it has to, man, life is going to be really difficult. But if you're able to switch and call a couple audibles, an audible in the sports world, right, specifically football, is like you had a play, but you realize defense is doing something that your play is going to block. You call an audible, a last minute change that's going to help you be successful. So you have the vision in mind. And when you realize, that's not going to go the way that I was hoping, how can I adjust my life to make it still get to the vision? That's what a blueprint is for. We discussed how to build one. We discussed that, man, when you have a blueprint, have the people that you're wanting to help in mind. Have the life that you're wanting to live in mind. And the example that we gave was right here, my apartment, Shelby and I's home, right? We welcome you into our home because we care about you. We sit on the couch because, man, we're just having a conversation. We're just two people kicking it. This didn't used to be here. Okay, a lot of you guys, you may remember, I used to be at my mom's and I was recording in my bedroom, right? I had the couch, my bookshelf. Ooh, that setup was tight. I like it, praise God. And now, man, when we were just dating, okay, well, where do we want to live? And we decided that Rowlett was the place, that this city was the place. Okay, well, what area looks nice? And so we drove around and we found a spot that we really enjoy. So what we did on our dates, we would practice driving home together. And so after every date, we would drive here and we'd park in the parking spot. If the gate was open, we'd come in, park underneath an awning. If it was closed, we'd just park on the outside. And over time, we would say, okay, hey, imagine what would our day be like once we're married? We'd walk it through. Oh man, we'd wake up. We get real specific because we know if you're not able to describe it, it's not yet a vision. A vision is just like you open your eyes. You can see everything and you can describe exactly what you see. That's how you know it's a vision. We would describe how we would wake up, what we would do. Okay, we're gonna pray, have our Devo time. We're gonna brush our teeth, wash our face, hop in the shower, get dressed, hug each other. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Come home, cook, play with the dog, take the dog out. This, and that. And we would get specific. We'd walk through our full day, right? Over the top, but yet here we are. Everything in this apartment, bro, we did not buy one thing. And I say that all the time because, man, God blessed us. We have overabundance of stuff, and we've been getting, not getting rid of things, but we've been giving things away. We've been moving things out. And this place has become our home through vision, through the blueprint, right? I share with you guys. I'll show you now. Actually, let me pick it up. Okay. I discussed how we have our Breed family handbook. Next steps, the Breed legacy. And in it, we got the prayer. We have the vision for our family. I had the vision for my business. We have our 5 pillars, right? This is all stuff that we do. We wrote down our next steps. Hey, what are we going to do? When are we going to do it? When are we hoping to accomplish this? Wrote it down in a summary because you got like this whole bulleted list, but it's like, okay, well, quickly, this is what we're going to do. We wrote down the process to action. We talked about, in our handbook, stewardship and preservation, because this is built to last. We're working on the foundation because this is built to last. I don't want it just for Shelby and I. I don't want it just for my kids. I don't want it just for my grandkids. I don't even want it just for my great-great-grandkids. I want it 5, 6, 7 generations out, and I want everyone that we know to be impacted. That's the kind of vision. That's legacy. That's the blueprint. Wednesday we talked about in Back to the Book, where we just walked through the Bible chapter by chapter, literally reading the text, saying, okay, this is what it says. And we saw how 2 people from the same family ended up in completely different places. Literally, we talked about Pharaoh from Egypt and Abraham. They came from the same family. They came from Noah's family. And one, they had their foundation built with their relationship in Yahweh, in God. The other, they had their foundation built on the different gods from that time. Pharaoh was the son of Ham, right? And when they got on the ark and the whole world flooded, all this thing. Okay, and it's not just like biblical mythology, it's history. You can literally look it up, and there was a great flood that, like, literally, that's how we got Pangea. It's a fact. It's a known fact. All religions trace back to a major flood. Nonetheless, and we discussed how God even gave the opportunity to say, hey, there's a crack in your foundation. Do we want to fix this? Or are we going to be okay just letting it go? And we saw that Pharaoh, man, he repented. He turned back. He said, wow, I've done wrong. Take your wife back, Abraham, right? Because, okay, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. If you didn't read and you didn't have an opportunity to watch Genesis chapter 12, firm foundation, Abraham is entering into Egypt. And he gets concerned and he tells his wife, Sarah, man, because you're so beautiful, I'm actually scared for my life that when Pharaoh sees you, he's going to take my life so he can have you. Please, please do not tell him. Don't tell him that we're married. Just say you're my sister. That way it's going to go good for me. And so what ends up happening is that Pharaoh did want Sarah. So as he takes in Sarah into his concubine, or into his harem to be one of his concubines, he has a dream from God. And he goes to Abraham and goes, dude, why didn't you tell me that this was your wife? Right? He already knew that this was his wife. Abraham didn't tell him. And he goes, I changed my mind. Take your wife back and leave. We have to understand the gravity of that, because the Pharaoh at that time, he doesn't change his mind. That's not a thing that he does. And we have to realize the grace and favor that was on Abraham's life, because Pharaoh could have just went, I'm going to keep her anyway. And because you tricked me, I'm going to take your life anyway. But there was grace and there was favor because Abraham's foundation was on God. He acted inappropriately. He did what he wasn't supposed to do. However, because of that action, God used what Satan intended for evil, right? And it gave the Pharaoh an opportunity to repent. And that opened a door for future generations in Egypt to interact with the God of the Israelites, the God of the Hebrews. And we'll get to that at another point. But it's just about that foundation. It's not too late to say, man, I've been messing up. I need to really lock in. Thursday was a real treat. Hunter shared his story. Hunter Blankenship, man, shout out. That's the homie. That's the bro. That's my guy. We fight for each other. Lock in arms. He shared his life story with us. And man, it was just so humbling. Seriously, because nobody has to share their story with us. And so the fact that he was like, I want you guys to know who I am. And he walked us through, man, when he wasn't living for God, the situations that he found himself in, the disappointments that he had to overcome and heal from, how different mentors in his life shaped him to be the man that he is today. He had an opportunity to shift and build on that foundation. Y'all, that's powerful. That's powerful. If you haven't seen that, man, that was yesterday's. Just check that out. Like, man, I'm so grateful. I was watching it the other day. By the other day, I edit these videos, right? And so, anyway, and I was just like, dang, this is real. This is the real deal. And so hopefully we find ourselves now saying, what is my foundation? What am I going to do? And when we think about these different things, hopefully it gets us in this mindset of thinking future. How do my actions today affect not just me, but the world around me for times to come? It's a real thought. So we just hit the recap. Now I'm going to introduce some more thoughts. I want to give you some questions to think about, because when we discuss the foundation, okay, man, great. You know what? Okay, let's even go here. I play a lot of disc golf. I love disc golf. Not, okay, as much as I love disc golf, I do not really go play it on my own. I have, and I do. It's just more fun when I play with my friends. And I was playing with my friend Israel, and we were playing with another buddy of ours, and we were at this particular park. And when I tell you, these tee boxes are so small. A tee box is literally just a slab of concrete that you stand on, and to keep it regulation, you have this runway. Bruh, it is so tiny. We're like, you can't even run on this thing. And we were discussing different ways, man, if this foundation was better, if this tee box was built better and constructed better, it wouldn't be lopsided, it wouldn't be so small. We could actually play and it wouldn't feel awkward when we're going for the run and the throw. Oh, if I had taken more time to really dig where I want to put the foundation, and I really made it meticulously and thoughtfully, certain areas of my life wouldn't be so rocky right now. When we build not just the foundation, but our house structure, it has to meet certain codes. Where do you live, right? We live in Texas. You get a lot of weather, a lot of different weather, bro. So like right now, okay, so we just came out of what's that called? Like an Arctic chill or whatever, and then we had hot. It was in the 80s. So we went from 20 and below to 80 degrees to rain, and next week is supposed to be another freeze. What is happening? I don't know. But it's just going in with that thought of being like, okay, so our buildings really have to be built with the fact of crazy weather. It has to be able to expand and contract. The roofs have to be made in such a way that the rain flows off of it without capsizing on itself. Really stop and think, how is my life built? I shared with us at the beginning of this that talk about it. It was one of the most inconsistent areas of this segment and this curriculum, just because, man, I had no vision. I didn't know what I was going to do with this. I didn't even want to do it. So I didn't do it. And that's not right. So I had to sit down and say, okay, what is the vision? What is the purpose of Lifeline? Why am I here? I have a strong desire to teach people how to be disciplined. Because the reason why we're not living the life we want to live is because we are getting bombarded and attacked by a lack of discipline and instant gratification. And it dawned on me, literally, it dawned on me that when discipline becomes optional, success is not guaranteed. Oh, okay, so now discipline is not an option. But I can't be disciplined if I don't have a vision, because discipline is vision applied. So let me sit down. I don't need to have all the answers, but let me just at least have an idea of where I want to go. What do I want my spirit life to be like? Am I going to be spiritual at all? What do I want my mindset to be? Do I want to be positive? Do I want to have an optimistic outlook on life? Do I want to be realistic? Do I want to be pessimistic? Do I want to be grateful? How do I want my body to be? Do I want to be fit? Do I want to be unhealthy? What kind of foods do I intend on putting in my body? Do I want to be athletic? These are all different thoughts. What do I want my friend group to be like? Okay, I'm sure you've heard this quote, show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you your future, right? You get around 4 of this type of people, you'll be the 5th. So it's just now a matter of, what do I want my circle to be? And then move accordingly. Financially, man, do I want to be debt free? Am I content with having a certain amount of debt? Do I want to be a consumer, or do I want to be a builder? Okay, so then what comes with that? Do I want different revenue streams? Do I want passive income? Do I want active income? Do I want to be able to give? Do I want to be able to donate, right? All these different thoughts, and you don't have to have it all figured out, but be moving somewhere. That way every day is just, oh, well, it's just another day. Hopefully not. Hopefully you step into your days with purpose. You step in your days with a decision. Nobody's saying you have to be this certain type of person and say, look, I color coded my schedule, right? Like, I've tried that. It works kind of for me. I'm more so during this time, I'll generally do this. And during this time, I'll kind of do that. That's how I operate. For some people, I need to have a boom, 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 boom. This is typical with people like with an athletic or sports background, right? A lot of athletes like to be told what to do. It just helps. I was having this conversation with someone, and it was just a matter of like, oh, it dawned on me, right? I know this, but while I was talking, it was just like, oh yeah, duh. Successful people have coaches. Successful people have coaches. The best basketball player in the world, whether it's from, man, rest in peace, Luka in Dallas, man, we missed. regardless, right? LeBron James, coach. Steph Curry, coach, right? No matter who your GOAT is, the football, coach, CEOs, they have a coach. Business people, they have coaches. That's why we have mentors, and that's what this is. It's saying, man, let's collaborate together. Let's link up together. You guys know I hit you up on the phone. You guys hit me up on the phone. We set up times to meet throughout the week and we sit down, we have conversations. That's why I'm here. I'm here to be a coach to you. That's my vision. That's my heart. To teach people the value of discipline. So everything I do is with that in mind. You guys see the merch? Sheesh, right? New beanies, t-shirts, different things like that. So every time we see it, oh yeah, I'm a disciplined person. Oh yeah, you guys remember when we connected with Stevie to get those t-shirts? Hey, we're getting ready to move those. We had to put everything on halt during the hiatus. We're getting ready to push those out. But it's when you see these things, it's a reminder. Oh, I'm a disciplined person. Okay, I'm gonna pass on that. Oh, I'm a disciplined person. I'm gonna jump in on this. But then we understand that everybody eats. When we talk about foundation, let's move forward with the vision in mind. You know, start with the end in mind. Start and say, okay, maybe I want to do this for the whole world, right? And I'm not there yet. So let me start with one person and let that first person be yourself. Y'all, it's not easy. I'm going to tell you that up front. It's not easy. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a challenge. There's going to be moments where you feel like a fake. There's going to be moments where you feel like an imposter. But that's because you're moving from one mindset that was harming you, hurting you, destroying the world around you into a new one. You ever take a bunch of vitamins at once? Bruh. Sometimes when Shelby and I will take all our vitamins, we've since not done this, but man, we'll take all these vitamins, or we're geeked up on vitamins for like a good 10-15 minutes. I'm like, bro, I feel so healthy right now. It's like, whoa. Anyway, but when we start to do this, it starts to feel weird. It starts to feel different because we're not used to it. And thoughts will creep into your head and be like, what are you doing, bro? You're a fake. People are going to find you out. Just stop. Like, you can't even do this. Like, why are you tricking yourself? Why are you lying to yourself? The very fact you were probably thinking those same thoughts. Oh, Shelby's home. Hello. My wife. My wife told me you want to come say hi. Y'all, you're going to see how beautiful she is. Come check it out. What? Y'all, because you're in my house, you can get in my house activities. Come on in. Come on in. Hey. Is she pretty? Mm-hmm. Cool. We're walking through, talk about it, discussing the different foundations. We're actually on the end part right here. Mm-hmm. I was sharing with them that, you know, you can't really start building unless you have a blueprint. And I showed them how we got this apartment and how we would, you know, practice living here. Mm-hmm. And how we would drive in and different things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was sharing with them the different thoughts, like whenever we start living a new life or we start making different decisions, man, I feel like a fake. I feel like a phony. But it's because we're moving from one behavior to a new behavior. And the sentence I was saying as we were getting in was like the fact that you recognize some of those thoughts is the fact that it's true. You are changing, and those thoughts are there to hold you back.
That's crazy, because that just happened to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. You want to share it now? Or you want to talk about it later?
I won't share in detail, but I'll share the thought I had. I think sometimes, is that the camera I'm supposed to look at?
Yeah, the camera
I
right there.
think sometimes, but I think, whoa, fancy. I'm glad this is like, glad this is talk about it, because anything other than that, this is very professional of me. But no, but I was thinking, because I think sometimes when you like are changing and you get out of your environment that you were in, that you were the like that who you used to be, and then you're changing and you're discouraged because you're like, I don't know if I'm changing.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it some time and then go back to that environment or hang out with someone from the previous environment. You will see how much you've changed, because you'll start to think thoughts that you never thought before. So you don't notice your environment when you're in it as much, but when you leave it, you'll catch yourself being like, oh, I never thought about this before. Like, oh, like you just catch things you didn't before, and that happened to me today. Mm-hmm.
That's next level thing. Is like a fish doesn't know it's in the water.
No.
Take the fish out of water. It's like beep 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 beep. It's like breathe air. I said erringly.
I was about to say, I said unoxygenatedly or something.
Man, we've been looking at all these cat memes.
Cat memes. What about cat memes?
It is so funny. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, because that's true. You know, when we go back to where we came from, it's like, whoa, culture shock.
Yeah. I think that's proof that you are changing, because you didn't notice that before. Definitely didn't.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's real deep.
I said deeply.
That's funny. Isn't she just the cutest? She is. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share? No? You're welcome to stay here. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's up to you if you want. Well, y'all, as we discuss these 5 pillars, spiritual, next week we're gonna take a look at mental. And we're gonna discuss, man, what are some ways that we can grow in our mindset with the vision that we have? Okay, because we cannot be disciplined unless we have a vision, because discipline is vision applied. And one of the reasons why we're not living the life we want to live is because we are battling against a lack of discipline and instant gratification. So go ahead, be disciplined, invest in yourself, and surround yourself with a group of people, with a community. We have a community here that you can grow with. Man, y'all, you're strong. You're smart. I love you. We love you. And until next time, peace.
Waited here. The leaves have changed their color. Time